hit the like button, subscribe.
Defense wins championships, everybody.
What's going on, y'all? We back. It's HAIRitage Sports Talk, and we live. This is season 2. This is something new that we do. We come here and we do it live. So hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends. Make sure that you become a part of all of this. Now, check this out. I'm Rodney Legendary Brown. It's not a show with just me sitting on here chopping up Twitches. So I'm about to bring in the rest of the crew like we do every single Monday. First up is my right-hand man, Mr. Tony Harvey. Welcome to HAIRitage Sports Talk.
Good morning, and peace in, brother Rodney Legendary Brown. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good on this Monday. How you been, bro?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I hope health and blessings is coming your way, and that goes directly to you and your family. So let's go ahead and get this started.
Right, yes, sir. Appreciate you. Next up, never slow, always on time, my man, Mr. DSpeed. What's up, Speed? What's up?
What's happening with the fellas, man? Top of the morning, Rod.
Bro.
What's good with it?
What's happening, DSpeed? Good morning, bro. Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Back in the studio.
Yeah. All right.
In fact, y'all got the.
I'm gonna bring in Speed's guy, Tone's guy, my guy, our guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mr. Elijah Lewis. What's up?
What's going on today, everyone? Little course here, but I just want to know
What?
What
is he? What are you wearing, Elijah?
Man, this is my old school 2000 era Fresno State cap.
Oh, that's a bulldog.
Yep, gotta have the Fresno State cap on. Don't tell anybody. Shh. My wife hates this hat. She's tried to throw it away like 3 times. She's tried.
Hey, yeah, like, let me tell you something real quick. She ain't the only one that hates it.
I knew it was coming, folks. I knew it was coming.
I hate it too. Maybe I don't hate it, but I hate the way you're wearing it right now.
Whatever.
Well, I tell you what,
whatever.
I'm gonna give you big ups. I'm gonna give you big credit for that one, though. I like that Bulldogs.
There's some Bulldogs, man. Ain't nothing wrong with the Bulldogs. Well, today, fellas, check this out. We got a special guest. He's coming from Kent, Washington, right now, by the way of Mississippi. I want to give up to a fella that I don't know if he know, but I look up to him for the things that he's been doing. He's been rocking it out throughout the U.S. and going back. He's a barber out of Kent, Washington, ladies and gentlemen. We call him that guy, Rick. What's up, bro? Rick, welcome to the show.
What's happening, Rick?
Nothing much, man. It's that guy, Rick, top of the hour to y'all guys.
Hey, man.
Good to have you on the program, bro.
Good to be on the program.
Yeah, introduce yourself, man. Tell them who you are, where you at, and what you do real quick before we jump off into these subjects.
All right, man. It's that guy, Rick, man. That's why I go by. I am Rick the Barber. I'm just that guy, man. Founder of the Elite Barber and Beauty Summit. Do it in Seattle. I do it in Mississippi. I'm a snowboarder. A proud shop owner now, the End Zone Barbershop and Beauty Lounge. So, yes, sir.
All right.
End Zone Barbershop. I like that. I like these unique names coming out of the barber industry. End Zone. Right on.
Yeah, it's a sports lounge, man. Most people always talk a little noise when they come in because they see all the Seahawks jerseys and the Mamillia in there. But, I'm here in Seattle, Washington, so I rep the Seahawks.
Represent.
Right. Now,
Represent.
that's your personal team, though?
I don't have a personal team, man. I'm not that big on the sports. I'm an outdoors guy. So, by living in Seattle, I represent the Seahawks.
We got an outdoor adventurous guy here. See, we have all type of people from different walks of life coming up through here. I love to hear stuff like that, Rick. So you're not messing with the New Orleans Saints because I know you from that metropolitan area.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
He's not a Saint, folks. They're not marching in. Okay.
Back home in Mississippi, it was Atlanta Falcons. Big fan of the old quarterback, the one that went to jail. So
Michael Vick.
Yeah, so and that's it. I went to Tennessee because we had a quarterback from Mississippi that went to Tennessee. He passed.
Oh yeah, he passed away. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not a big fan.
Air McNair.
Yeah.
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 Because he went Steve McNair, right? Because he went to Alcorn State. He went to Alcorn State, and then he became famous. Then he tragically passed away. Though. Okay, you are in a little bit of sports now. Don't get it twisted now.
A little bit. I went to school with his nephew, Brandon. We went to high school together, so I know a little bit about
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I did play a lot of baseball growing up in high school, so
okay.
A little bit.
All right, well, let's jump into it, fellas. I want to start off with the NBA real quick. Okay, the Pelicans, since we're talking about New Orleans Pelicans, they fired Willie Green. They brought in James Borrego. Was it a right call? I mean, they not doing good, but was it the right call to get rid of him? Is he the reason?
I don't know, DSpeed. You know anything about it, D?
Wasn't he on the chopping block already?
Yes, he was. He's been on the chopping block for 2 seasons, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think I remember something last season about how he lost the locker room and there's no ability. For me, if you're a head coach, that's kind of like the worst things. I mean, you can develop a different game plan. You can sit down and kind of help, and even probably with the help of your team, develop a game plan. But once you lose the camaraderie and the control of the locker room, nobody's going to want to play for you. And I think they were going through that last season, which is why it was a big fuss, like you said, TR. So I remember hearing something about it. I mean, it's not surprising.
Definitely not surprising in this business, D, because it was just a couple of years ago. I think they won about 55 games. And that season, they beat the Sacramento Kings 6 times in one season. Mike Brown was still the head coach. So, but then the year after that, with Zion Williamson having his issues, they traded Anthony Davis already to the Lakers, but they would still had, a unit, that could compete. And something, the wheels just came off somewhere with Willie, because, Willie, he came out of that Miami Heat culture. And that's what he was pretty much sprinkling in, in the New Orleans. And like you said, DSpeed, somewhere along the line, he lost control of the locker room. I know they want to, get rid of him last season, but they gave him another chance. And this is where we are, because who's the GM up down there who used to play for the Detroit Pistons back in the 90s and stuff like that?
Right?
Who's that?
Joe Dumars, right?
Joe Dumars, right,
yeah.
Right. So Joe Dumars gave him every opportunity to try to, seal up everything, establish things or reestablish things with that franchise, and it just didn't happen. So now they got Borrego in there. Borrego has been a head coach before. I think he had to stop in North Carolina, for the Hornets. So now he's just the interim leader. So maybe they just give him a shot to see, where this go. The team is right now currently 2-11, which is one of the worst records in the league right now. The Kings are not too far behind. So we'll see what happens with the New Orleans Pelicans. I know they're trying to do everything they can to hold on to Zion Williamson. He hasn't asked out yet, but you never know about these things. The trading block, the trading period opens back up on December 15th. So there's going to be some movement. We're going to keep our eye on the New Orleans Pelicans, though. I don't know, Rick. You probably know something. You know anything about what's happening over there in that area? I know in the Pacific Northwest.
Games last season.
Wow, yeah. You said you didn't know that much about sports, but you laying it on the line here, though. But yeah.
Hey.
That's hard to recover from, man.
Yeah. So I from my experience, when you look at stuff like that, I know. The GMs, the trading block and all like that. People don't like that, man, especially when they investing a lot of money in there. So they be trying to get them guys out of there, But that's just like Pete Carroll, he wasn't doing what we want him to do, so we got him out of here. So, it all falls down on performance of your team.
Yeah.
And 66 lost last season was crazy, and then come in with this many lost this season. They looking at it like, hey, we don't need to start to the fresh season. So maybe that's the cost of it.
Yeah.
You want to know what happened though?
Whatever.
So Dolomite came in there and told Willie Green, here's all his money, and he got 24 hours to get out of his club, and 23 of them is already over. That's what happened in New Orleans.
So maybe this next subject, maybe he need to come out here to Sacramento, because Darren Fox just led the Spurs to a 123-110 victory over the Kings, and the Kings are sitting at 3-11 right now. Tone,
Yeah.
what do we think is wrong with them right now at this point, bro?
Everything, man. That was a 6th straight loss too. And you just mentioned De'Aaron, who had 28 points and 10 assists. He knocked down like 4 triples in that game. Harrison Barnes had a great game too. He played here too. So they want to stick it to the King organization. But when we talk about everything that was wrong with that, Rodney, DSpeed, Elijah, and Rick, the thing about with the Kings, I think they were talking about on the radio show that after the game, De'Aaron Fox went over, to dap up DeMar DeRozan. That's his boy, right? So is Keegan Murray, but Keegan Murray's not playing right now. And then, he drags DeMar over to his wife. I forget what his De'Aaron's wife name. And, they, having a little quaint conversation. They happy, they smiling and everything like that. It's almost like, man, it's like, De'Aaron, you get traded to an organization that knows how to win. They have a culture that's built on winning, togetherness, and championships. And then, I'm still stuck here with the Kings, who might trade me at any minute, But that's just some of the things. One of the things that's going, that's hampering the Sacramento Kings. But I know. I could never hate on De'Aaron Fox. I love him to this day. I loved everything that he did, that he offered for this city. And I do think he made the right choice of getting up out of here. I know some more of them want to get up out of here, but the Kings on the 6-game losing streak, they keep piling up these losses. Is going to continue. They got to play Oklahoma City again for the 3rd time in Oklahoma City on Wednesday, and then they travel to the Grizzly. They are on the 5-game road trip, folks. It's not going to get any better right now for the Sacramento Kings, and I think they better start playing those younger guys right now and get them developed and set up for the future.
And get them some points, man.
I want to hear from Elijah's perspective, though. What you think of what's happening with these Kings, man?
Okay, I'm going to use an analogy right now. Okay? Now, everybody talk about cocktails, and if you mix certain things together, it's going to be a great cocktail. You can't go wrong with Henny and Hypnotic. That gives you the Incredible Hulk. But
okay, I'm surprised you know that.
Yeah, you surprised I know that, huh?
By the way, but come on.
Yeah. But if you mix with some people, Kahlua and milk, it'll hurt your stomach. And so what I think that's going on here is that we have the wrong mix on the floor. We have the ingredients to be a great team, but they're not being mixed properly. I don't know if it's Doug Christie's problem, or I don't know if it's the mix of players that we have that just don't go together.
It was the acquisition of those players, bro. You had no reason to go out and go get some of the players you went.
Right.
I can understand going to get a D-Rose. My eyebrow was like 50-50 on Westbrook because production-wise versus, all right, but now can he last long? But what was your reasoning for Loveone? That made no sense. Like they try to run a small, quick ball team, similar to what Golden State does. We all understand how successful it can be. However, Golden State knows where that can hurt them, so they adjust accordingly for that. Sacramento, you don't have the manpower to run that type of team consistently the way they do there. Nor do you have the depth in the bench and the buy-in as a whole team, because some of the talent that you have isn't capable of doing it. It's not necessarily that they don't mesh. It's about the capabilities of each of those players. So it's like, why did you get some of them? I think
Well,
they're the ones. They're probably one of the teams that's the most happy for this trade opportunity to come. Because I bet you they probably got a list of people on that trading block. If they were smart, they would.
Well, yeah, you know, even on top of that, you still got a lot of players that's on the team. A lot of them do the same thing. A lot of them are ball dominant.
They got 19 guards on this team. It's just like Elijah said, you know, and I have to use that analogy too, as far as Kahlua and milk, and it's really sour. And they regurgitating all over the place with this stuff, but that mix should have never been there. And like DSpeed said, you know, going out and getting these certain type of players that don't fit, you know, I'm not saying they well past their careers. It's just not a system here that is conducive to their skills.
They're at in their careers. They're a little bit senior. Some of them are a little bit, you know, probably on that downward spiral. Your ability to produce as far as to do what that team needs you to do, it's not going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, like, you're trying to get too many players to do what? It doesn't even look like they have a full game plan. It looks like you got everybody together and said, go out there and play.
Yeah, they did. But you know what's interesting too, DSpeed? Russell Westbrook, who you just brought up here. I didn't know how that signing, they did sign him as a free agent, you know, a few days before the season started. I didn't know how that was going to go over. Now, I've always loved Russell Westbrook. He's always been, you know, respectful to me, you know, in those locker room. But what I'm seeing, what he's doing with the Kings organization, because now the fans are loving him. He's bringing that style of leadership that hasn't been present in many, many seasons. They're not winning, but he's bringing I mean, he had a couple triple doubles already. All right, he just turned 37 a few days ago. He's still able to perform, and if anybody noticed, he's starting for the Kings right now. Dennis Schroeder, who they also signed in the offseason, 3 years, $44 million, he's been struggling. So Doug Christie had to make a change and put Russell in there because Russell had been playing well, you know, holding it together. Russell can't fix everything, of course. You know, Keegan Murray is still out and everything like that. But he has been bringing that leadership amongst the veteran leaders that they have and the younger players that they have. I don't know how much longer that's going to last, but he's been one of the best players on the team, which is pretty much been surprisingly. And I hope he continue that as well. And the fans you know how this is around here, folks. They have embraced that. Because, you know, they used to, you know, he was a villain, you know, when he was in these other uniforms and stuff like that. But now they have learned to like him. I would say the local media as well, because I think they were scared to death, you know, to interview this guy. You know, they heard so much about him, and they were some haters among the local media too about this whole thing of signing him and everything. But now y'all know he's a professional. He's going to be who he is. He is injecting, you know, some type of spirit into this organization, but they still going to have to make some move, you know, moving some bodies around. And I think that's going to be between now, you know, when the trading block opens back up in December 15, and that continues on to February 15. They're going to have to move some bodies around and get some things together, and they're going to have to put them younger players on the court like Nick Clifford, Maxime Renard on the floor, so they can start, you know, getting some time and understanding this NBA game.
That's facts.
That's definitely facts. Let's jump over to the Lakers real quick, man. They're sitting at 10-4. They really haven't had a real starting lineup. Luka's been out a few games. Austin Reeves been out a few games here and there. Hachimura was just out a couple of games. So with the great weight is on LeBron's comeback, which right now he's practicing with the team today. He can play as soon as tomorrow. How does this affect the Lakers? And I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing for them, because if they've been playing like this and sitting in 4th seed in the West is a hard division to get through, man. And with LeBron coming back, if you can add a top 10 player from last year that's averaging 25, 8 and 8, I think it's a good thing.
I think that man need to go and retire. And I'm with brother that said that earlier, man. They need some fresh blood on that court, because the old knees ain't gonna work out too much longer.
Started his 23rd. He started his 23rd year, possibly tomorrow against the Utah Jazz and things like that. But it is pretty interesting, what you said, Rodney, that they are 10-4, and where they sitting at in the Western Conference, and they did all this by they lonesome without LeBron. What you got to say, D?
Man, look, as long as that man is able to sit up there and play and give 100%, go ahead and let that man play, man. I get it. I get it. He's doing. Nah, I'm gonna be real with you. It's the season of I feel like not older, the vets to start ushering in this new talent.
Yes.
It's a wave of new talent partnering in, and I think that now, if you really are still sitting there occupying the spot on the team, I'm kind of lightweight wondering what's your reasoning when you have almost everything you want and you got the smarts to now affect the game and nurture the next talent in a certain way. You've already accomplished that feat of father-son. I mean, I get you have the capability of still and the ability to still play the game in a competitive way. So, I mean, hey, go for it. I'm not knocking you, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to know what your reasoning is. Because what are you trying to gain that you have not already attained?
He want them rings like Michael Jordan so he can say he the greatest.
Nah, he can't. He ain't gonna never get as many as Mike.
He's not going to get that many. I believe you on that, but that's what he wants, though. But he's not getting 6 rings. What do you got?
Let that go.
He got
let
4?
4?
Yeah. Yeah. You really got to get in with a team that has young talent like DSpeed, to get back to that level. But I mean, he's going to be 60 when he retire. I don't think
I really think the Lakers can overtake. I really think that they can take the Thunder, but they have to gel together. Once they get ready to gel together and go, they're going to be the run of the money of the West. But until LeBron gets there, but like I said, I think LeBron needs to go ahead and have a meeting with himself in a moment and decide when he's going to hang it up.
I think we need to first take that cap off of this circulation for you to let that thought come out your mouth that you think the Lakers will be able to overcome the Thunder. You crazy in your head. They don't have enough. Let's take the talent out. They don't have enough discipline. That young team plays with discipline, bro. And I'm talking about OKC. That's a dangerous team when you already know you got that much talent and then that much discipline. They play with one of those mentalities where it's no big eyes. Like they're not selfish when they play, and they're hella talented.
I think I think the Lakers can take them, man.
Then what happened last year?
The Lakers got their butt whooped. I think they can get them this year.
What do you think is gonna happen this year, bro? You crazy?
There's just a lot of excuses for LeBron, no reason why it didn't happen.
Exactly. I'm glad Rick agreed with me and can kind of see take that hat off, bro. Take that hat off. You need some circulation. I know.
Think about
your Fresno State. Take it off.
Think about Oklahoma City. The thing about Oklahoma City is that they got people on the bench that can be starters. Yeah. I mean, some young talent on, what's that one cat name played at University of California, Santa Barbara, who's been starting and, since the other Jalen Williams been out. These cats be balling, and that Casey Wallace, all right, and your young cat, and they still got the veteran in Isaiah Joe,
right.
The shooter and stuff like that. But if you go deep into the bench, those cats can start too. Them young and old cats can start too. And Hartenstein is really coming into his own right now as a center for the Oklahoma City. You see what he did with the Kings last week. What do he have? 33 points and 19 rebounds and a few blocks and stuff. He was killing the Kings, man. He is really coming into his own. From the starters on down to the bench, D and Elijah and Rick, that would make them so powerful too. The Lakers really have to overcome some really technical issues dealing with this team, because not only that, well, you can talk about the offense. Oklahoma City is still one of the best defensive team in the association.
I agree with that because I watch a lot of OKC basketballs from Kevin Durant. And I say when they started their trade line, they went after them young, hungry guys that really want to play some basketball.
And they started that around Shea Gilgeous-Alexander when they got all those trades. They got Shea in the trade from the Clippers, and then they had all these other, first round picks, and they just started building within. All right. They had Paul George there for a minute. They traded him for a couple of first round picks, and they landed Jalen Williams. They was able to work some more trades because they got Alex Caruso out of Chicago. They GM he knows how to play his cards, and that's how they built this team and to build this team for a few championships, at least to get to that get to the NBA finals and stuff. So yeah, and all that started after Durant left, Russell left, with the big guy Steve, the center. They moved him on and stuff.
Revamping period.
They went to a rebuilding phase. And this is where they arrived at.
For me, it feels like the Kings got the same potential, but y'all rebuilding phase just never stopped.
They ain't in no rebuilding. I mean, they might be now, little that we know, but I've been covering this team for 20 that long, and after the Rick Alderman
you
was
had Mitch Richmond, you had let's take that. You had Bobby Jackson, Chris Webber, you had who else?
Vlade, Pages, Stojakovic,
Hito Turkoglu,
Christie.
That team was the last of the dinosaurs of when Sac was relevant, as far as competitive relevance. And it seemed like ever since then, y'all always had bits and pieces, but never could keep it. It was always rebuilding. I thought you were onto something when you guys got Fox, and when you let him go, I was kind of like, bruh, because he was lightweight. If you could have built around him correctly, y'all could be.
The same way with DeMarcus Cousins too, D. They never rebuild around him. They never rebuild around De'Aaron. That's why De'Aaron left. Yeah. There just haven't been any rebuilding. And those earlier players that you're talking about, that was doing a rebuilding phase. Okay, that was doing, and nothing has been anything like that. Okay, some people got to understand too. Some people, what you really understand, at least right here in Sacramento, with these owners, they trying to sell tickets. They trying to sell seats. They trying to fill up the arenas. So if they can get these names, and put 17,000 people in the seat, they cool. A rebuilding phase likely will, bring in 10, 12, 11,000 people per game. And they don't want that because they trying to make money and they trying to win now. But at some point, at least for the Sacramento Kings, that's why they having all these, issues and stuff. You got to do it. You have to if you want to be a winner. It's tearing the city up. It's tearing the city apart because the Sacramento region, and it's a 5-county region here, is so passionate about this professional basketball team. This is they own this. So to see it, go through all these different phases and not get the results that they want, they only been to the playoffs once in the last 17, 18 years, that's frustrating. It's frustrating. A rebuild right now is necessary. That's what I was talking about, when they got these young players like, Nick Clifford, Dylan Cardwell, who's a two-way player, and then Maxime and Devin Brown. Devin Brown, who his dad used to play for the Kings many, many years ago. He put them out there on the floor. Start that rebuilding process right now. If this slide into a 10-game losing streak, remember they're at 6 right now. It is time to just pull the plug on these things, try to see what you can get for these veterans, put them in the right situation and bring in them young people and start developing, period.
Totally agree with you, man. Definitely that. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk, where we talk about everything on outside, everything on the inside, and definitely everything in the cut. We listen to those rumors, but guess what? We're here to speak the truth and talk those facts. NFL. I'm gonna bring up the Cleveland Browns. I think it's kind of a setup for my man to be able to start yesterday. He looked very uncomfortable back there. It looked like he didn't have any kind of cliche with the line or any of the receivers. And some of them shots that he was throwing down the field was hitting these receivers in the hands, and they just wasn't catching. The person I'm talking about is Shedeur Sanders. Now, I honestly believe that they're the ones that's trying to either kill his drive, but they definitely don't. They're not helping him look good. So, what do y'all feel about the whole situation when we talk about the Cleveland Browns? They done got rid of Joe. They done traded like 5 quarterbacks in the last season and a half. How y'all feel about? I'm glad he got his opportunity, but how do you guys feel about it?
Hey, I was watching Rex earlier, Rex Ryan, talk about the response or the reasoning, or just listening to hear him recap about this game. And the funny thing about that is, I felt everything he said. Like, what was the reason that y'all traded up to go get this quarterback for when you're not giving him no reps with the offensive line? When you're hearing them talking about, no, this is the first time we don't know his cadence. When he's not getting no reps with the offensive receivers, nor the running the backfield, there's no starting reps with this dude. And then you telling him out, hey, go out there, create play. There is a disconnect. And then it's almost you not even wanting hearing the head coach talk a couple weeks ago. It's almost you don't even want him to play. You don't want to give him a shot. So it's kind of you railroading him on purpose. And you're doing it in front of our eyes, and we seeing what the resolution of that took place yesterday on that field. I mean, take a look. Bro had what 2.4 QBR. What did he go? What 47 passing yards?
47 passing yards.
47 passing. Come on, bro. And we know that he's capable of it, but we know the reason why he's not able to show and prove that on the field because he's not getting proper reps with the starters of his team. You railroading this kid, bro, and now you got him under a rookie contract deal, so he locked in under this dumb system that you got created. Somebody got something wrong and needs to get it right. That's just my viewpoint on it. It has nothing to do with his ability to play the game. It's everything to do with what the heck y'all got going on that backfield to not get us do the proper proper shot at playing the game correctly. That's why he had the success when he was with his dad. That's why he had the success prior to even coming up. Like he's getting the proper shot.
We just seeing the same old thing. How they developing their quarterbacks. How Cleveland been, doing with their quarterbacks. Same old thing, but. You're absolutely right. You said it at the top of your presentation, DSpeed. Okay, if I'm not, working out with the first line players, getting reps with them, playing behind that offensive line, trying to get a rhythm with the receivers, there's going to be some issues. Now, remember Gabriel got knocked out the game with a concussion. That's why they had to bring in Shedeur. But it still doesn't seem like he's getting enough practice time, rep time to work with these guys. I mean, there was one receiver I'm looking at, and I think you just mentioned it too, D. The ball bounced out off him. He looked almost surprised that the ball even got there on time. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And he couldn't make the catch. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, 4 for 16, 47 yards. And let's not forget, Myles Garrett on the defensive side for Cleveland. He was killing it, man. He had 4 sacks anyway, stuff like that. He putting the pressure on it. I don't care what quarterback was back there. They was going to have some problem with this man today. He made his money yesterday, okay, because Cleveland could have won that game. Baltimore was having some issues. Man, Lamar Jackson was like, man, I can't wait till this game is over. Luckily, they won the game. They won the game on the tight end running a 35-yard touchdown, things like that. Myles Garrett. But I do hope that Shedeur get to work out with, the first team all week. I don't know what's going on with Gabriel's concussion, but they got to go through that protocol, and you got to get through that before he can get back on the field, and he got to practice too. But if Shedeur can get another chance, to show what he can do, that's cool. That's cool because you got to have reps with the first team to get that rhythm, that harmony going, and especially with that offensive line because they don't want to protect you in order to have some success back there. So let's see what happens with it. I'm glad he's going to get his opportunity, but that wasn't what we know of Shador in that second half of that game yesterday. That they lost 23-15, 23-16. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I agree, man. You can't just throw nobody out there and expect them to put up a great performance like him, and he had no practice time. He might have played in the preseason, but the whole season he just sitting on the sideline watching the Gabriel play and not even getting that opportunity. And then you just throw him out there and expect something great. It's just not gonna happen, bro. It wasn't gonna happen. But I'm glad that he got the opportunity. And I feel like they're gonna give him another shot, and then he gonna use what this experience taught him to show the people that he came to play some football.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Hey, Rick, I got one for you. The Rams used 4 interceptions, man, against your area pro team, the Seahawks, to win that little showdown. And it was actually a pretty good game. It was a back and forth kind of game. How you feel about that game? And do you think, I mean, the NFC West is tight. You got the Niners, you got the Seahawks, and you also got the Rams sitting at, what's the Rams, 8-2 now? Seahawks 7-3.
Yeah.
Niners
Right.
7-4. So it's a tight division. How you feel about that division, man, and who's going to come out on top and really represent for the NFC West?
Every year, every game we play the Rams is always one of the best games of the seasons for us. I knew we were going to have to come with it, everything we had to offer. But like I say, the defense that they put on yesterday, it was great, man. And, you know, our quarterback tried to make the adjustments, but he couldn't make the adjustment. They were just on his helmet yesterday, and he kept slipping up and throwing passes when he could have just, you know, took the lick and failed. That's how I feel, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was a great game. I think we can learn from it, but at the same time, them Rams ain't nothing to play with, bro. Them Rams come to play some football.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
You know.
Elijah,
Yes,
what you
sir.
think? What you think, man, about the? Hey, so the Raiders play tonight. Let's talk about that real quick. The Raiders play
Yeah,
Dallas.
don't let's
We
just
talked
not talk
about
about
this on
Seahawks,
the
because that was a sad moment yesterday, you know. Especially that field goal at the end. We were counting on it. It just went too far left for us.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, this coming from the same person who said he wasn't a Seahawks fan, though. I heard you talk way. I've been sitting back here just like,
But listen,
So you
Sam
scared of the
Darnold.
possible?
Sam
listen,
Darnold.
I've been repping I can't lie. I've been repping the Seahawks for a long time. I want to say 2008 to now. I've been
Okay.
supportive of the Seahawks.
All
You
right.
know,
I'm gonna tell you what that game was yesterday, though. That was the expertise of Sean McVay tearing that defensive coordinator
yes.
loose on y'all. And
It
I
was on the
love the
helmet.
fact that it wasn't no easy win. Like they had to fight, but and you guys just because y'all lost Pete and be thankful y'all lost Pete, because of course tonight we finna see who inherited that problem when they played Dallas. But I'm glad that the Seahawks have looked like a resurgence has came since the ending of the Legion of Boom, and of course one of my favorite football players, Marshawn era, the Beast Mode era. So it's dope to see life back in that organization. But y'all going up against the Rams, bro. The Rams got life too. They
Yeah,
the one
they
team that make
every
me
season.
nervous. They make me nervous, bro. And I'm being realist about it. Yeah, I'm a Niners fan, but damn, we got it kind of stacked over here on the NFC West.
Yeah,
We
the
got some
Rams is
hitters on
nothing
our
to play
squad, so
with.
it ain't no easy win. It on I can see the Colts probably giving somebody a problem on that side, but over here, I think the NFC West. I don't think you're gonna have to worry too much about the Eagles.
I agree with you.
I don't think you're gonna have
Sam
to, even
Darnold
though they're
has some
talented.
issues. Sam Darnold been playing pretty well for Seattle, you know, up until that game, but that Rams defense, man, it's
It's just something different.
Yeah.
I gotta agree, man. Ram defense always been something different for Seattle, bro. I want to say the past 3 years, the Ram defense has been holding our offense down to the point like they get frustrated and they start making mistakes on the field.
Those senseless mistakes, yep.
Yeah.
But to touch what you was talking about, Rod, about that
Yeah.
game tonight, that's like the for what game to me. On a Monday night, a premiere night, why would you have this for what game? Two teams who don't matter franchise-wise, I guess franchise they're two of the most popular teams in NFL.
The Cardinals ran the Cowboys off the field a couple of weeks ago too, didn't they? D ran them off the field.
You can't argue with a Raider fan and you can't argue with a Dallas fan because they both say that this is our year in every preseason.
Look, Elijah, man, what your Raiders gonna do tonight against the Cowboys?
I don't know. It's the Raiders and the Cowgirls. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna go out there and just let the halftime show come out. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's one of those games.
Man, they got to that point, Elijah.
Tonight, man, they gonna make the Cowboys happy tonight. So it's gonna give the Cowboys another reason to say, "Oh, we got a chance at the playoffs."
Yeah, I can see that. I
know because we don't know what we're gonna get out the Raiders.
Looking at it tomorrow morning like this.
But you know what, though, I can see the Raiders seriously coming to play tonight. Even though it doesn't mean anything, they can play.
It means something to the Raiders more than it does the Cowboys because you're still playing for pride. You're playing to try to gain a difference of. Everybody knew Cowboys was gonna suck, but Raiders, y'all got hope to turn it around. So you gonna play like it's 0-0. That's like both of y'all records. I see it, but it don't matter at the end of the day. Like, I'm sorry, it is what it is.
He said y'all's record is 0-0. He said y'all. I agree though, man. It's like I don't know, man. It's one of them games. If you love football, you'll watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or at least some of it, you'll check in on it. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. Tone, let's talk about Sac State, man. Update everybody on what's going on over there. We know Bibby's over there. We got Shaq's son over there. Shaq's there as the general manager. What's going on with the sports and what's happening over there with them?
Pretty much surprising to me. I think the basketball team up under the guidance of Mike Bibby is 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. They just won a 2-point game over Presbyterian just the other day. And then Mikey Williams? What do you have a game last? I think that's when they should be 4-0. And Mikey, another one of those transferred through the portal who came here to join Mike Bibby, had a 30-point game. They had wrote this young man off. Okay. All right. Because, he done bounced around. So, he had some criminal things that was happening. He got passed and stuff like that. Look like they're going to have a promising season. It's still early yet because one thing that concerned me too, Sac State played William Jessup University. That's up above, right on the outside of Roseville. It was about 30 minutes out of Sacramento. That's an NAIA program. Of course, they got baseball, basketball, football, volleyball. Not football. Women basketball, all of the type of athletics that they need. But it's a private school. It's more like on the religious side and things. They only beat them by 10 points. I'm like, man, y'all need to be mopping them, but they won the game. I left that alone because this is Mike Bibby, first rodeo. He's a legend around here anyway, former Sacramento King. He wanted to come back to this area and coach. He got that opportunity right now, but it seemed like they're going in the right direction. I don't expect a whole lot in this first season, but it seems like this team is gelling together right now. On the football side, they won their third straight game over the weekend. I think they beat Idaho State. They had to come back and beat Idaho State 23-20 or something like that. With the what's his name? The Cardwell, the quarterback. He got the winning touchdown. He ran it in, but he was making a couple connections on throwing the ball, to get him downfield to win that game. So got to give big credit to Coach Marion Brannon. In this first season, right now the team is currently at 7-4. They're in third or fourth in the Big Sky conference with a 5-2 record and a 7-4 record overall. So they're looking forward to getting into the FBS playoff. And, these signature wins, these last 3 games that they won, hopefully will, carry them over the threshold and they can have postseason accomplishment. least that's what we're looking for at this point, though. But yeah, Sac State athletic program on the men's side is looking good. I will have some more reports, coming off that university on the women's side here in the next few weeks.
Oh,
right,
I do want to say something about the women, though. I did hear that Bethany Versteg, she actually was voted the Big Sky Conference preseason most valuable player already.
Okay.
So that's on the women's side. That just happened just this morning.
Right. Now, over the weekend, she appeared on ABC 10 Sports with Kevin John. Of course, they didn't mention that and stuff like that. They had 3 or 4 of the women basketball players on there because they do expect to have a good season there. I'm glad you picked up that information as well, too, Elijah, because that need to be out there. Yeah, she was a preseason MVP. So hopefully she'll win it outright.
I hope so. Good for her. All right, Rick, I'm gonna bring up somebody, man, that I know you probably most likely familiar with. Zell Powell. He's the first black snowboarder to win an X Games gold medal. He's now 24 years old, expanding on culture ship is with he's with the Jordan brand now. So they're creating new collabs, redefining what it means to be a snowboarder. Now let's talk about some of that snowboarding, man. What do you know about snowboarding?
Signed the first professional snowboarder in Zeb Powell on April 3rd of this year. He posted a video on his personal IG for the monumental deal with the Jordan brand. I think this is not only big for just snowboarding itself, but I also think it's big for the Jordan brand.
That's a cool.
How you feel about it?
There we go. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
you on?
loud and clear.
Talk about your sport,
I've been checking out a lot of his content since he won the Red Bull Challenge, and I want to say he has opened up the doors for a lot of people, especially young black guys, to step out on the mountains. I recently just came across him by him winning the Olympics, which is pretty awesome for people of our culture, because when I first started snowboarding, you don't see too many of us on the mountains. We don't think them type of activities for us. But since he won, I look around me, I see so many guys that want to try it and want to go out there and take on that challenge. And that's pretty dope to me, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I never really paid too much attention to it, man. And when we started,
like if you don't live in a mountain state, you're not gonna get that opportunity to, travel up that mountain to try them activities. I picked it up, I want to say 2019, because one of my guys I ride motorcycle with, he was like, "Hey Rick, man, come to the mountains with me." He ski. I didn't want to ski because I was like, "Hey man, I want to try snowboarding because it come from skateboarding." So I'm like, I could do a little kick and push, and maybe I can do a snowboard. And I tried it. I liked it. The view to being up there is awesome, bro. You don't get them type of views like that, bro. It's like a postcard look, man. You just got to go there to be able to see them type of views. And then I just felt in love with it, bro, being out there in the element. But I didn't want to snowboard no more. I just want to go look at the snow.
Okay.
Said someone from the Gulf area, Gulf of Mexico area.
We don't even got hills where I'm from. 4 years ago, one of my Barber brothers, Swell Blends, he's out of Bremerton, Washington. Me and him went to barber school together, and he hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, I saw you snowboarding one day. Come snowboard with me." And I had to hit him with like, "Bro, I don't know how to snowboard. That scared me." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "I'll teach you." So I went out, man. He gave me some step-by-step instructions. And like I said, at that moment, once I learned how to stand up, turn, do my thing, I felt in love with it. And I just started pushing myself to the limit every time I go. Now, last year was my first time hitting the parks. Because like I say, when I saw Zed doing all the flipping, hitting the pipes, hitting the turn rails, I'm like, bro, I gotta try that type of stuff. And last year, my first year, going through with it, hitting jumps and trying different things. So, it's all inspirational. I love the guy. He posts a lot of which mountain he gonna be at. Hopefully I can catch him at Aspen this year and snowboard with him and get to shake his hand,
Right on, man. Right on. I think I probably had to look into that as well too. You always have, these reluctances when, trying these, these what I call high adventure, extreme adventure type of activities and things like that. But Rick, it seems like I'm gonna try to get out there. I'm gonna try to get out there and do it too. But just based on what you're saying like that, I think we all should, go out there and just try it once. You try it once, you might like it and keep doing it. But at least try it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really a lot of people from the Black community be messing with these type of things. But now, through the years, these past few years, we find out a lot about what we can do.
I got videos. I remember I want to say it was a week after the Red Bull competition. It was a big talk about it, and I want to say it was a Sunday. I went up to the mountains. I put on my board. I got the video of these kids, bro. I want to say they were like 16, between 18. And they didn't know nothing, bro. They just tumbling, falling, having a good time. And I'm just looking at them and I'm like, bro, this what it's about, man, having a good time, not who better than someone or doing this. And when I talked to the young guy, he was like, yeah, man, you watch that Zed Powell stuff? I'm like, nah, I gotta check into it. And that's how I started looking up his name. I'm like, wow, this guy, bro, he hitting all types of flips. He doing all types of stuff on that. I call him Spider-Man on a snowboard.
Right. Well, man, I hope, you could share that content with our executive producer, Mary Cheryl Brown, on next time you come on here so people, can peep that out and understand, what this sport is all about.
Yeah, I took last season, I want to say 4 of my friends I took on the mountains. I taught them how to snowboard and they fell in love with it. Everybody got their own gear now. They looking forward to the season. Seattle dry right now. I'm planning on coming down to Cali to Manning Mountain because y'all got the most snow on our side of the map right now. So,
okay.
I've been encouraging a lot of people, if you want to go, bro, get your lift tickets, you can rent a snowboard, but hit Facebook Market, hit offer up, man, buy you a cheap board, make sure you ain't got no cracks in it, take it to get tuned up, and half of the tuning for the board don't cost you nothing but like 40 to 30 bucks to get your snowboard tuned, and just go out there, bro, and ask questions. A lot of questions to get you a lot of answers these days, and people is not as prideful on that mountain. They will help you, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be afraid. Just take them instructions and do your thing.
Sound like a sound investment there, Rick.
It is, I invested in a lot. I got 4 snowboards now, so I put them in the back for y'all can see my favorite 3.
Yes. Check it out, folks.
So it's different type of models for snowboard that you will have to learn. You gotta learn if you're a goofy rider, standard rider, or them type of things. Then you learn about your snowboard. What type of snowboarding you trying to do? You just trying to cruise, or you trying to hit the park, or you trying to hit off trails. So 2 of my boards is off trails and all durable type snowboards for the park and to go into deep snow. So once you learn them things, it'll help riding, being comfortable on the snow.
Hey Rick, quick question. What's the difference between the boards what's the difference between your boards? Like the ones that's out and the ones for the trails?
This is a more flatter board. So it's just basically an all-terrain board. You just want to do some sliding and turning. This one of the boards you'll want to go with. This is a 158 turn lip, which is just mostly flat, no curves into it. This is my 158 flex. This my park board right here. This my everyday snowboard right here. This the one that I can take in the park. I can go through trails with. Like it got a lot of ridges in it. Like I say, once you learn about your snowboard, you'll be able to see what type of rider you is. This is a hybrid snowboard. This is what they call hybrids because it's built to take you through the parks, trees, trails, and stuff like that. Now this board, this is one of my Kappa boards. This is like strictly for the parks. It's very flexible. You can bend it a lot, stuff like that. Very thin. You can easily move through the snow, cut through the snow better. Metals, bindings, you know what I'm saying? So Yeah, so I got 3 different types of riding skills I like to ride with.
Wow.
Okay, that's dope. I like it.
Man, that's dope. Man.
Yeah, man. This year is
Um,
my goal this year is to hit a Z pile. I want to hit a flip this year. So I'm looking forward to this season.
Take it to another level. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
taking it to a
that
different level. He inspired me last year. I gotta say, all last year I was just on this man page, man, just getting inspired. I'm like, bro, the man is a young, awesome black man that showed people like, bro, it don't matter where you come from, you can be different and people will support you. Like, bro, he took my creativity on the snowboard to another level, because I at first, like, I want to say after my friend taught me how to snowboard my second and third season, I was going to the mountains by myself. And I wouldn't I wouldn't talk to people like that, but then I met him and I just saw how outgoing he was on that board and how he just connected with everybody. Last season, I'm like, hey man, you gotta meet up with me. Then I'm in these little Facebook groups and I'm starting to meet different people, and them people are helping me become a better snowboarder. So it's just like it's a different world on that mountain.
all this, and you're a barber too, man. You got your own, you got your own business, and then you got your own activities outside of that too. You got to be feeling good about yourself, man. Motorcycles?
Mountain biking. I love to camp. I love to go outdoors. That's where I like to spend my time at, outdoors. Surrounded by outgoing people on the mountain.
Man, I'm loving this, folks. I'm loving this. I'm loving this edition of HAIRitage Sports Talk.
Don't have it. Where I'm from, only thing you're gonna be doing is fishing. Gang activities.
Crabbing too. We was down there, down there in Slidell. We're down there in Slidell catching crabs too.
on Lake Lacombe. So I know Lacombe Bayou. So I know all about it. So it's just like you don't get out as much where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? You don't have them opportunities, and then being able to be inspired to go do it when in different states is just like, bro, you see stuff that you never thought you would see. Like it's dope to be outgoing and be able to push your body to the limit and see what it takes. So, cause I always tell people, if something bad was to happen, say if Mississippi get an ice storm or a bad snowstorm, they wouldn't know how to take it, But if you go to Colorado and you go to Aspen and you go camping in the snow or snowboarding or snowshoeing, you'll be able to feel the elements and your body will adapt to it, It's all a survival thing, man.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Speak on it. Speak on it.
I love that part. We're gonna jump into an interview with my man Rick in a hot second, but Tone, I want to talk about Bob Beamon real quick. There's some history behind Bob Beamon, who set a record. I want to say 1968, wasn't it?
Bob Beamon, one of the most talented track and field athlete. Bob Beamon is a former American track and field athlete. He's famous for his record-breaking long jump in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City, where he leaped 29.5 feet. Okay. The iconic photo is out there if you get a chance to see it. And the reason why I mentioned this iconic photo, because it was like the shot around the world. Bob is basically sitting on air. This brother is sitting on air. I had the pleasure to meet Bob at one of the major track and field meets here in Sacramento. I would say back in the 2010s or maybe 2010s or something like that, whichever. I had the opportunity. He was here with a lot of other athletic greats, and there were some people from that Mexico City gang who were there. Tommy Smith and John Carlos. I'll get back into them later. But what was interesting about our conversation about what Bob was talking about, this is 29 feet, 2.5 inches, which would be about 8.9 meters today. That's how they measure those jumps. He broke a record that stood almost a little over 30 years. I think 31, 32 years. And you know who had that record? 1932, 1936 Olympics, a boy from Ohio State who won 4 gold medals in the Olympics, Jesse Owens. He broke Jesse Owens' record that stood over 30 years. Bob Beamon did that. Okay. That was in the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. And remember, he did this in front of Hitler. Now, the interesting thing why Bob's jump, as iconic that it is, folks, is because of Tommy Smith and John Carlos. After the 200-meter dash in the Mexico Olympics in 68, when they went to go, let's see, Tommy finished in first, John Carlos finished in second, and Peter Norman, the white Jewish dude from Australia, he finished in second. John Carlos was favored to win that race, but Tommy Smith would just, ran off the rails. Remember, they stuck up, they went to the ceremony stand and they put up that fist. That was the shot around the world, that Black Power fist to protest the injustices that they were having here in the United States. They lost their medals. Tommy Smith and John Carlos, they did lose their medals behind that. So that kind of overshadowed with Bob Beamon's accomplishment what was. Now, so interesting to me because I was a long jumper and I was a triple jumper, and I learned how these techniques that he used. There's 3 flight techniques that he used. One is called the hang technique. The other one is called a hitch kick. It's kind of like it's like I can't explain it right now, but then there's the sail. All right. The hitch kick is, and then you have it's like a running type of technique, but he used the sail. That's why you see his arms extended like that. He's sitting on air. And I think his best jump before that was 25 feet. So he jumped 4 feet further than his personal record. Bob Beamon did. So one of the most outstanding things. Now, I never, achieved that type of technique or that distance. I think my longest jump was about 22 and a half, 22.6 or something like that, 22 feet 6. I triple jump about 40 feet, about 45 feet, when I was in high school. And, I think the record right now is over 50 feet, way down there, maybe even 60 feet in the triple jump, these days, because that was a long time when I did it and stuff. But what Bob Beamon did, folks, was most extraordinary thing that I've ever seen, in images, because, they do have black and white images of him making this jump. But that jump, that iconic jump, him just sitting on the air, and I'm looking at it right now here on my computer, is one of the most incredible things I ever seen in track and field.
Yeah, I remember you sent that over to me. You're right. You looked like you were just sitting in the air, man.
Yeah.
Jump.
Now, Roger Powell, I forgot to say too, I'll just make it. Roger Powell broke the record in 1991. He jumped something like 29.9 or something. He almost jumped 30 feet himself. So, yeah. That's
some jumping, man. I got a couple of mentions I'm going to do real quick. I want to give some love to some locals, to the Sacramento Athletics, the Athletics. Nick Kutz, he won AL Rookie of the Year. Definitely, I want to give some love to him for that and whatnot. And another person that we should have talked about last week because he ended up winning a major race, but just this past weekend, Carl Larson's heart-stopping flip at Hangstown 100 capped off a dominant run for his season. We got a video on that. We're going to watch that video real quick about Kyle Larson, and he also he just
from Elk Grove.
He was in Elk Grove and got recognized out there, which is dope. You in the racing or NASCAR, Rick?
I've been watching a lot of motorcycle racing. I've been thinking about getting back on the bike again. We'll talk about that once we get to the
okay. I gotta get you on here with our boy, Mr. Leonard Brown, man.
Oh yeah, I'd like to hear both of y'all on there for that talk.
Yeah, I love motorcycle racing. I love NASCAR, but motorcycles my thing,
Okay. All right. So go ahead, man. Rick, go ahead and explain to everybody like a little bit of history of yourself before we get off here, man. Give them some history of yourself, what it is that you're doing now and what your plans are for the future, brother.
My background is typically like every young other black kid, I grew up in a single mom home. in Mississippi, made a lot of mistakes throughout my life, you know, went to prison at 17, didn't get my freedom till I was 26. I just wanted to live outside the normal, you know, I wanted to be able to see what it'll take to be great. So, you know, I left my state in 2006, 16. I ventured out, you know, lived in multiple places, found myself here in Seattle. And I started, you know, becoming a people person, you know, seeking knowledge on what it'll take to be successful, a self-made person. You know, I just started looking at life different, showing love to people, you know, just doing stuff that I never thought I'd do in my life. So I became outgoing, you know, I became adventurous, you know, I like to do things that I never did before. Uh, the last 7 years of my life, you know, as being a barber has taught me so much. And I just try to pour into other people what I have learned over the years. You know, life can be difficult, but with love and understanding and true support, bro, anybody can change they background and their story.
You certainly have did that too, Rick. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you on this show and to share those type of things there, and your intellect about extreme sports activities as well, too, man.
Because you know, being a sport person and putting yourself out there, enriching your life. Because people don't understand some of my hobbies are dangerous. Just like I said, speaking on motorcycles, I'd have been in 2 major motorcycle wrecks in the last 3.5 years of my life. One of my wrecks, people don't survive those type of wrecks, and I was able to get up and walk away from it. You know, I might have had some road rash and a broken bone, but I was able to get up and try again. You know, it just teaches you discipline that you can't get on a normal base of learning life.
Right.
You like that? You like that high stake activity that, you know, that high stake sports that offer adventure type of thing, man.
It gives me, I'm not gonna say I'm a thrill seeker, because most people say, oh man, you just a drilling junkie. It just gave me something that I never had before. You know, I'm gonna just explain it like this. Once you sit on a motorcycle, it's you and that bike. You have nothing protecting you. You have to learn different things. You got to learn how to lean. You got to learn how to turn properly. You know, you got to watch every car. You got to pay attention to every piece of gravel on the ground. You got it just puts you in a focus mode. And I think that would help me focus on life more. You know, it just gave me something.
Hey, Rodney, Marichelle, I know you listened too. We got to get less on here with Rick, man. We just got to dedicate a special just to these two right here, and you know what they bring to these sports, man. Because I'm a journalist, Rick. I'm a reporter. Yeah. So, but you know, I cover a lot of politics and I cover a lot of sports. You know, Rodney and Marichelle can tell you that. I don't usually get into these type of conversations with my own community, man. All right, I have to go out there and look for them. You right here in my face. We got to get you and Leonard Brown on here so y'all can just pour out y'all love to what y'all do, man.
Yeah, it builds character, bro. Like I say, I'm gonna just say about my first motorcycle wreck, you know, and what it taught me. I'm following somebody. I'm trailing a motorcycle group, and we just doing our thing. We cutting in and out of traffic. We doing all this hooligan stuff, and at 70 miles per hour, 75 roughly, a car veered in front of me and hit their brakes, and I slammed in the back of the vehicle. But I wasn't riding my ride. I wasn't in my lane. You know what I'm saying? I'm following people. I'm doing what they doing. I'm not riding the way I ride, you know, and that would cause the accident. And when I sit back and I think on that and I put that on my life, it's just like, how many kids follow people to destruction? You know what I'm saying? How many people do stuff that other people does and then they end up in a bad situation? I need to ride my ride. I need to be in my moment. I need to be paying attention to what I'm doing. So it taught me a valuable lesson in life.
Right.
You know what? I agree with that. I've never seen it really explained like that, but it makes a lot of sense, man, because you do find a lot of people, they see something that looks incredible or it looks exciting, but like you just said, it's not your lane, no. You know what I'm saying?
That's just like barbering. That's just like barbering. People always ask me what I get out of it, and I truly can never explain it to them because for a long time until to this year. If y'all don't know, this year I went back to jail. Things happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I had to sit back and I had to think on life. It's just like being a barber. We pick up these clippers, we pick up these tools, and we start doing what everybody else doing. We following trends. We not being trendsetters. So to become a trendsetter, you got to understand why you doing what you meant to be doing.
Right.
Wow. Right on, man.
And that's
Right
just
on.
like last year. I'm riding a snowboard. Now I actually felt the elements last year. You know, me and my guy, we bombing the mountain, we hitting jumps, and I cleared the jump, but I didn't know how to make a sharp turn properly. And I went off the cliff. I went off the side of the fucking mountain. You
Oh
know,
shit.
and now I gotta learn survival instincts. But the first thing I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, man, my wife finna be mad. She finna kill me. I'm finna die. But it was in that moment that I had to pull into my physical strength and hold on and stay, you know, balance myself so I could be able to pull myself back up on top of the slope.
Okay. See,
You know, it's about you know, making certain decisions and stuff, Rick. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I know about making decisions too, you have to think about the consequences first.
Yeah.
If I do this and I know it's wrong, what's gonna happen? Oh no, I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna get
We
off
don't
into
do
that.
that.
We don't do that enough.
Like I'm 36. You know, most people don't do that, bro. Even when we young in age, we don't do that. It just we see something, we like it, we want it, we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't give ourselves the time to think about the consequences that's gonna come until the consequences right there in our face. Then we like, oh shit, I gotta deal with this. You know, so being an outdoor person, it just teaches you how to embrace yourself, protect yourself, and be able to face things that other people wouldn't be able to face.
right, that's real. That's real talk. Talk about the shop, man, because you just opened up a new shop. I want to give you love on it. It looks dope. I'm gonna give you all that love on that. Talk about it, where it's located, how they can get in touch with you, and those that's in the area, even the ones who's traveling into the area.
So the idea for me for a shop, I wanted to build something that I can call my own and be able to pull in something and create an environment for myself because I'm different. I'm not like I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I'm not like other barbers that's in Washington. I'm from the South, so I like a Southern vibe. So it's basically a sports lounge where, you know, people can come hang out, kick it. We're gonna build an arcade room in the barbershop, so you know it's gonna be a hangout. I'm just trying to set a different tone around me. That's all. You know, it's the End Zone Sports Bar and Lounge. Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to what I create. I ain't got too much to say on it because like it's all new to me. This a new adventure. I never thought I had thoughts of making it happen, but I didn't know it would happen in this moment, in this time, especially with all the stuff that happened this year. I just got to give shout out to the people that pours into Rick and help Rick be able to be himself and create the opportunity for myself. I couldn't did it without my partner Gio. My wife supported me, all my mentors, you know, Lonnie, Tamel, Jay Majors. I couldn't did it without these guys constantly uplifting me, telling me I can do it.
Okay.
Well, where
dope.
you located? Where you located at?
I'm located on 110 South 2nd Street, downtown Kent, in the heart of downtown. We right by the Shoreware Center, down the street from the shopping mall in downtown Kent.
And once again, it's called End Zone Sports.
End Zone Barbershop and Lounge, man. You know, the only place you can score that look at, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good motto.
Yeah,
That's
it's
catchy.
a motto I created, you know, score that look, you know, catch me in the end zone, you know. It was a long process of building that name, stuff like that, you know.
Congratulations
Oh
on
man, you put some thought into it. I could tell.
Yeah,
Right on.
it was over a year. So the plan was me and another guy. We were just bouncing ideas off myself, each other, and I was like, you know, we had a thought of opening a shop together. So I was like, bro, we gotta score that, bro. We gotta do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So one day I came and I was like, you know, end zone, bro. Meet me in the end zone. Meet me at
I
the
like
end
that.
zone. You know what I'm saying? So it's the final destination for everybody. You know, come get that cut and we can hang out afterwards. We can eat. I got a lot of people that's gonna be catering for the barbershops on these game days. Looking to broadcast every game that happens and just connect with a whole different crowd of people in the community.
Righteous. Righteous.
How can they get in touch with you, brother?
Man, y'all know what it is, man. Like I say, I go by that guy Rick on all social media platforms. I'm not hard to find. All you gotta do is type in that guy, and I promise you, Rick gonna pop up. You follow, I follow back. I love to support people because you know
I'm gonna do
support
that
goes a
too.
long way. I truly believe in love and support, man. Only thing it take is a small ignite, and then everybody can be lit in this world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Come on, you got any last words before we get out of here, brother?
I just gotta say, man, y'all go out there
Yeah,
and be
yeah, Nick.
yourself, man. Don't be scared to take on new challenges, new opportunities. I came a long way, and I want to say, you know, if it wasn't for the guys that I have met throughout my life as being a traveling barber, competing, being on these stages, networking, I wouldn't have the opportunity to create these different lanes for myself. I'm very outgoing, so if you hit me up, man, we could pull into each other, come up with the next greatest idea. uh, One last thing I want to say, man. Meet me at the Mississippi Barber and Beauty Summit 2026, July the 25th. I got some special plan for everybody. So, you know, just stay in your lane, bro, and continue pouring in yourself and being a great individual out here because we need more love and support.
Yes, sir. That's that guy, Rick, y'all. All social media. Tom, what you got?
Yeah. Rick, do want to thank you, you know, from coming on the show. Like I said, it was an honor to have you here, you know, and have these type of conversations, these discussions, because that's what we do here on this show. And we like to bring people on here who inspire, and you definitely inspire. You inspire me and things like that. We didn't all went through certain things in life. That's just how life is. You know, it's a mystery. Okay. We learn from it and we move on. Okay. Sometimes we come back, we make another mistake, but we still learn from it. We pick ourselves up and we move on. And that seems like you done did everything like that as far as trying to stay in your lane. So that's
Man.
really my
The
final
easiest thing
words
to
here.
me now is you can give up and everything you done put effort in is gone once you give up, bro. Though it ain't hard to try things, bro. The easiest thing in life right now is to give up and say I can't do this, I can't do that. So just put yourself out there, man. I've been sent like this go to the world, man. This go to everybody that'll see this. Thank y'all for having me on here. I'm gonna just show you something that I've been witnessed over the last 30 days. One of my childhood friends, bro, he done got signed with a major record label. He been on the road with NBA YoungBoy opening up for him. He never thought he'll be able to do that. One day we talked, he like, bro, I made 300K in one night. Things will happen when you put yourself out there, and he never took that chance to put his music out there. He would never got heard. The guy, Chris, I'm talking to him. He an artist, one of my clients. He paint pictures. He did a side gala, and he didn't think his pictures was gonna sell. Bro, he sold everything in there, and everything he sold was $5,000 on up, and people actually bought it. So it's just like if you wouldn't have took that chance to doing that private event, putting your pictures out there for the people to see, you wouldn't able to got your art out there. So it's just about putting yourself out there, taking the risk, taking a chance. You never know what would change your life and who would change your life, man. And I just want to say it's been an honor watching these guys grow and coming from nothing, and now they names is ringing bells throughout the city.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, so that he said it right there. I'm not even going to try to, try to come up behind that right there. That's just a beautiful ending right there for us, though, Rodney.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I want to thank you, brother Rick. I want to thank you for joining us. Definitely, man. We're gonna have you back on. I'm gonna have you back on soon. I'm gonna hit you up, and I'm gonna see you next week, bro. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll be down at the hair jam. So everybody, if you in the Sacramento area, my guy, United Barber Club, they putting on a hair jam event at the Rock and Brewer We got people flying in all over. Man, y'all come out, have a good time. I'll be in the building. I'll be in Sac, but I also will be in Sac the weekend of Thanksgiving. I'm hitting Manning Mountain to snowboard. So if anybody
Are
want to
you?
connect with me, come out, man. You can meet me and we can travel together and have some fun.
All right.
Oh yeah.
We have a plan, man. Let's see what's happening. I will connect. We'll see if we can connect on that way. If I ain't got no plans, man, we'll hook up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is HAIRitage Sports Talk. We talk about everything outside, everything on the inside, and definitely everything in the cut. We listen to the rumors, we talk, we speak the facts, and we talk the truths. Tone, I want to thank you. Rick, nothing but love, bro. I got you, man. It's all love. And to Speed and Elijah, I want to thank y'all for joining us today, like every Monday. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. Until next time, nothing but love. One love, love one.
Nothing but love. Peace.